Hello buddies, Sam here, engineer, MBA, and investor. And in today's video, I want to talk about Vertex press release that happened a couple of days ago. And of course, this press release talks about their updates, talks about their latest programs that they're working on, their past accomplishments, and of course, their future of the company. And of course, this was given to me in a message on x.com. So I appreciate the person who did that. You know who you are. So before I do that, before I jump in this video here, just a couple of house cleaning notes, some may say. Yesterday I published a video towards the end of the evening. That was an interview that I basically gave to a YouTuber called Amit Investing. This person is amazing interviewing. Just FYI, if you have not seen his channel, he's really good. He's like in his late 20s. He has a lot of potential, I think. Just forget about just YouTube, just like speaking, interviews, podcast type of episode. Actually, I'll suggest him to start like a podcast or something and you know, build his career towards that. I think he has so many skills there. And but anyways, I gave an interview, and something interesting happened after that video was posted on his channel. Of course, he linked my channel, my YouTube channel, and so on. And like ever since then, that was like less than, let's say, maybe 14 hours ago, 15 hours ago. That he published that video, and he has obviously over 25,000 subscribers. I actually gained about 50 subscribers just since then. And I mean, you may take that however you want, but I actually think that shows that there is an interest in CRISPR, in the technology, even with folks that are more just in the tech, not really in the technology side, just in investing. There's a huge appetite for this technology. The problem is the visibility. The problem is a lot of people don't really know about this space. And because they don't know about this space, they're not following channels for it. They're not following folks on x.com. They're not really posting about it. They're not talking about it. And I think this is what really I wanted to get the message across to my audience here is keep liking the videos that you watch about CRISPR. It doesn't have to be this video, guys. Even on, ARK Invest, when they make a video on CRISPR, like it, give it a shout, give it a repost, whether that's on x.com, on Instagram, whatever social media platform you use, talk about it. I mean, I'm not trying to say you have to brainwash people and so on, but this is an amazing technology that deserves at least recognition. I mean, the same way that mRNA technology got so much recognition during the pandemic, there is no reason this technology cannot get recognition, especially the fact that we now have officially a program that is certified to be commercialized, approved by certain countries now around the world, including the US, of course. I think it'll be a shame not to talk about it, right? And I think it's my duty here to make, these videos every week for free, educational information. And people can watch, like, subscribe, reshare, repost. I mean, this is my duty, right? But I'm sure you guys have your own side of things too, I mean, I know some of you are invested, some of you are not, some of you are just really for the technology. Regardless of what reason you have, I think it is our duty to at least get that visibility out there, right? So I just wanted to get that across to folks, and hopefully, one of two of you will act on that. Anyways, I want to get in today's video here right away. I know some people have criticism how I take a couple of minutes to get in the video itself, but I really felt like I had to share that note at the beginning of this video. So, sickle cell disease and beta thalassemia, CASGEVY, right? So, of course, there's other things that Vertex, a huge pharma company, they have multiple programs, successful programs, may I say, have nothing to do with CRISPR, but they are invested with CRISPR, of course, with 60% of CASGEVY, 40% is owned by CRISPR Therapeutics. So receive regulatory approvals in the fourth quarter of the Great Britain, Bahrain. Yes, we already know that. The FDA assigned a PDUFA action date for March 31st of 2024 for CASGEVY beta thalassemia. So the March of 30, they have to approve or reject that program. We believe they'll approve it. Who knows? Can't make definite statements at this point. Additional regulatory submissions for CASGEVY are currently under review in Switzerland and Saudi. And the Saudis, obviously, this press release was like a day or two before the Saudis news. So Saudi's already approved, but we're waiting for Switzerland. And I did not know this, guys. Submission in Canada planned for the first half of 2024. I'm really excited for that. As a Canadian, I'd love to see that. You know, complete enrollment of global phase 3 studies in CASGEVY patients 5 to 11 years old with sickle cell disease and beta thalassemia. 5 to 11 years old. The reason why this is important is because you got to remember that program that was approved is for 12 years and older, for example, in the Saudi. So if you're 10 years old, 9 years old, and you have sickle cell disease, you're actually not eligible yet for that program that was approved in the Saudi Arabia, for example, right? So that is very important for this to go through, right? Sign and Synergy Medication Collective Medication Contracting Organization found by Blue Cross Blue Shield affiliated companies covering approximately 100 million people to provide access to CASGEVY. Yes, I should have said that in yesterday's interview. That was interesting. That is definitely interesting. All right. Activated 9 authorization ATCs, which are authorized treatment centers in the US, 3 in Europe, and ultimate goal of activating approximately 50 of those in the US and 25 of those in Europe. And of course, these are the treatment centers for that program. I wonder who's going to cover these costs. You know, there's so many questions there. I wish, you know, Dr. Sam, CEO of CRISPR Therapeutics, would go on and talk about these things in length. I wish we would have one condensed interview where we actually now talk about how the rollout's going to go, the cost, who's covering what, different regions, and so on. I know it's a complex topic. I know it requires like a 2 hours type of episode, but I wish we would go through that. At least have one very soon from someone from CRISPR Therapeutics. Vertex is fine too. It's just I think Vertex is such a big company. I have a hard time. I don't think Vertex can just focus on just this program, right? They have so many other successful programs. I mean, CRISPR is a huge part of their portfolio, obviously, as you can see here. But let's be honest, they're not really, you know, this is not their bread and butter right now. Soon it will be. That's my prediction, but not right now, right? Vertex revised its estimates for number of patients living with sickle cell disease from 25,000 to 30,000 patients in the US and Europe, with additional patients in Bahrain and Kingdom of Saudi. Vertex updated its patients for beta thalassemia is revived from 7,000 to 5,000 in the US and Europe, with additional patients in Bahrain and Saudi. So yeah, so a little bit of revisions here. I think I made a mistake in yesterday's video. I said like 100,000. I don't remember where I took that figure. I think that was worldwide. I don't remember where I took that figure. It was actually from, I'm pretty sure I saw that figure somewhere. Maybe it was even more than 100,000. I think that was worldwide. It's like 300,000 or something. But anyways, look, these numbers may not seem like a big deal, but it is a big deal. Like I said, many times in this channel, Dr. Sam, the CEO of CRISPR Therapeutics, mentioned in the early, like 2021, 2022, he actually mentioned, and of course that number, you can't hold that against him, but he said about 1,000 patients can really be dosed in the first year that they go commercial, right? 1,000 patients, think about it, right? You have 30,000 patients in the US alone. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be 1,000 patients every single year, because obviously they're increasing the ATCs there, as you can see, with 50 in the US, 25 in Europe. But you cannot cure all these patients within the next 4, 5, 6 years. This is going to take like a decade at least. And you got to remember, we're not editing the germline. So any of these patients that end up having children after being cured, their children will still hold the gene trait of sickle cell disease, the beta thalassemia, unfortunately. Editing the germline is a whole different topic that this program does not do, right? So we'll see where we go with that. It's a bit too early to say right now. I really want to see like the exact numbers, that exact rollout, the plan that CRISPR Therapeutics and Vertex are planning for the next year, like 2024. I want to see like how many patients can they tackle, what is their potential revenue per region, who's covering what. what are the costs involved? The future outlook is good. Like we saw Switzerland in there, we saw Canada for the first half of 2024. But I want to see more, right? I want to see more there. I want to see maybe a detailed plan. I think investors deserve that. I think, especially being in this space for years, the least thing you want, the very least thing you want, is an actual detailed plan as to how you get to roll out this program step by step. I don't think I've seen that. I've never seen that in a slide. I've heard them talk about it, but I need this to be written. I need this to be like an actual defined plan. And obviously they have that. I mean, these are large companies. Vertex, $1 billion, multiple $billion company. There's no way they don't have that. And it's not like the FDA did not ask that for the approvals and so on, right? The FDA, for example, wants to know how you're going to roll out these things, how you're going to go through about it. What are the downsides? What are the upsides? With the approach with commercialization, right? You guys gotta remember, right? Especially the folks in this space for the science side of things. The science side of things, the technology, the clinical trials, that's like phase one, part one. Part two is getting it out there, commercializing it, right? You want to be efficient. You want to cut costs. You want to be efficient. You want to generate high profits. Of course, you want revenues, but you want high profit. You want to increase your margins, right? And how do they do that? I don't think I've ever heard any of these companies talk about that. And maybe maybe it's not clear, maybe it's not defined yet, maybe they're not ready to publish it. But this has been approved for 2 months, 3 months now from the UK, 2 months since Bahrain approved it, a month since US approved it, 2 weeks since 1 week since the Saudis approved it, and obviously there are other countries onboarding. So I wish we would get that rollout plan. But let's end this video like this, guys. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about this press release from Vertex? What do you guys think about this update? So excited here, the Switzerland part, the Canada part, the numbers, the potential. There's so many things happening in this space. There's so many things happening, and I'm so excited, especially with yesterday's interview. Things got really clear in my head. There is an appetite for CRISPR. It's just a matter of getting the video out there, which means do subscribe, do like this video, guys. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a beautiful Sunday. Thank you.